Welcome to a new episode of the Crew Review.
Hello.
For you.
That's for Beth. There you go. We're excited.
That's for you,
Fist
Beth.
bumps all around.
You got one for her?
I mean, here we go.
There we go. Cool. Anyway, what a great start to an episode. Fist bumps.
We're super pumped.
Yeah. So, happy first day of May.
Yes.
Also, I feel like I must bring up that Kinley and Ashley will be married in 8 days.
8 days.
8 days. I'm so excited.
We'll see. No, this won't be the last one before the wedding. So I'll think of some questions to ask you.
Yeah.
Some fun questions.
Let's do a little
Wedding prep.
I may
pre-wedding
forget and
question.
then think of ones on the spot, but
That's
we'll
okay.
pretend like I
That's
planned
That's
it.
okay.
Yeah. Cool.
We're excited.
If you guys have not already, go ahead and subscribe to us on iTunes Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. Well, I guess it's not called iTunes anymore. It's just like Apple Podcasts. It's like a separate thing now.
Get it right.
I know.
Come on.
You know where to find it. Oh, and also we're on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, which is where we have the video portion. If you're looking at me right now, you already know that. If you're
Well
just-
done.
so-
You did it, guys. Yay.
you have nothing to do.
You've arrived.
Check that box.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. We are kicking off our favorite movies series. So each one of us, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Ashley 5 in the back, are doing our favorite movie of all time. And we're starting with Kinley. And if you listened last week, it is...
Mean Girls.
Boom.
I'm very excited about this
So-
one.
Representing the pink.
Yeah.
It's not Wednesdays, but we're wearing pink.
I'm really
Yeah,
sorry. I
Jennifer.
totally
We
forgot to
bookended
wear
with the
pink
pink.
today.
Well, tomorrow's Friday, so you can only wear sweatpants on Friday. Or today's Friday.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't wear sweatpants.
I wore jeans.
You wore
so-
jeans, good.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
Oh,
khakis. I'm
Ashley
good.
wears sweatpants, so she can't sit with us.
That's why
in the
she's back there.
That's why she's back there. She was actually going to come on, and we said, nope, you can't sit with us.
Next week.
Next week, indeed.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So good.
All right.
Mean
so,
Girls.
Mean Girls.
Minute it up.
Beth, what is this movie about?
Yeah, so Mean Girls tells us the story of Katie Heron, who is a girl who was homeschooled and from Africa, and now she's entering American high school for the very first time. She arrives and she's pretty, and she clicks pretty well with the queen bee, Regina George, and her 2 minions, who are Gretchen Wieners and Karen Smith. They're all known as the Plastics. Things are going well until Katie unfortunately has a crush on Aaron Samuels, Regina's ex-boyfriend, which is a major no-no. And so, with the help of 2 outcasts, Damien and Janice, they have to plot to take down Regina George. So, Katie gets a little excited about infiltrating the Plastics and falls in love with the popularity, loses herself a little bit along the way. But then we have the release of the burn book. All the secrets come out, chaos ensues. Seriously, like the biggest girl fight ever. And then, Katie has to find her way back to owning her mistakes, her true self, and somehow wraps up the movie as mathlete champion and prom queen. So there you go.
Very good. Solid.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
The end. Tune in next week. That would be really short. This plot just makes me think of, aren't there other movies like this as well where it's like they have somebody who's going to infiltrate another group, but then they get so caught up in it that they lose their way in it. I was trying to think of it reminds me of some movie, but I can't think of what it is. Never mind. I'm thinking.
Probably any other movie that's about high school students.
Actually, I remember what it was, but it was a SpongeBob episode. We're just gonna move on.
Oh my gosh.
I love that it was SpongeBob.
Of course it was SpongeBob.
I mean, it is a common plot,
Yeah.
people get
If
sucked
you watch
in.
SpongeBob, it's the episode where they sing the fun song. So Plankton's trying to infiltrate to get the Krabby Patty formula, and gets caught up in having fun with SpongeBob and loses his way. But his computer, Karen, sets his way straight and says, hey, stay on the path.
Wow.
So
F is for friends who
Yeah.
do stuff
Together.
There you go.
that's the one.
Thank you for starting that because it was going through my head and I was like, should I sing this? Should I not?
We
So
had
I'm glad
to.
we covered that ground.
That's right.
But yeah.
All right, let's think think about the first time you ever watched this movie and how you felt in that moment. Can you remember? I was elated. I finished this movie and I started it up again and watched it 3 times in a row.
Where were you when? How old were you?
I think I was in high school. I was in high school, late high school, and I loved this movie, and I don't know why, but I just loved this movie. It was very good.
Okay, true confessions. I was really late on the Mean Girl train. Like
She was.
7 or 8 years after Mean Girls came out.
7 or 8.
And the first time I saw it, I watched it alone, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess it was okay. I wasn't impressed. But, like, it, like, sits with you, and there are just so many quotable lines, and now I've really come to appreciate Mean Girls.
We've already quoted this movie on this show.
Several
We're, what,
times.
8 episodes in? Is that 7 or 8?
I don't remember.
Something like
You
that.
should know this.
I think
should
we're
know.
8 episodes. I think this is episode 8.
This is episode 8, yes.
So this is episode 8, and we've already quoted this movie at least twice on the show,
Have
maybe
we
more.
quoted it, Kinley, or have you quoted it?
We're one unit, okay?
One crew.
I
Part of the
might
crew,
have
part of the
quoted.
ship.
Part of the crew, part of the ship. So,
Different.
anyway, there you go. Okay, continue.
I think I watched it with you the first time I
Probably.
saw it. I don't ever remember watching it without you because, and for those of you who don't know, before, or Kinley and I roomed in college and after college. I don't remember if it was during college or after college when we watched it. It's probably during college.
It was during college.
Knowing Kinley, you definitely saw it during
But
college.
I've never seen it, with that being said, I've seen it several times, and I've never seen it without Kinley. It's always been, sometimes he would just come home from work and he'd be like, I had a bad day, I'm going to watch Mean Girls. or he's having a great day and watch Mean Girls. Another time he would watch it is if anybody during that day quoted it in any way, he would say, I got to watch Mean Girls tonight. And he would. He was a man of his word.
It was a thing.
So-
It was a
fan.
thing.
Even
So,
if it was after community group and already 9:30 at night.
might
Yeah,
have
he
been
would.
really
He'd
late
go
at night.
home. He would still make it to work on time
Yeah.
the next day.
Solid.
Right?
True fan right there.
Listen, you need Mean Girls sometimes. You just need
Yes.
it. Before we watched it for the podcast, because of course I had to rewatch it before today, and I had not seen it in a long time, and I was really.
What is a long time for
I
you?
was really disappointed in myself. It's been months, which is a big deal.
Whoa! How are you still alive?
I don't know.
Like, how
He
did you
saw it.
survive?
He's fine. He's fine.
I'm thinking
He's okay now.
Everything's okay. Like
It's
I
fine.
realized the error of my ways. And I watched it 4 times
fine.
since Sunday. Okay, no, but I think it's been maybe close to a year since I've seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Only
For those of you who didn't hear that, Ashley said, I lost it. Say it
We
again.
said
only
they've only
watched
seen
it
it
twice
twice
together
since they've
since
been
the time
together.
we've been dating,
Yeah.
and she said that one of those times would be when we watched it for this podcast.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
I haven't watched it a whole lot recently.
Also, we need to hear her story
Yes.
about when you.
I think I saw it, because what year did it come out?
2004.
Oh, I didn't watch it when it first came out, but I saw it when I was still in high school, I think.
High
So
school.
before 2008.
Was it an instant classic for you, or did it grow on you?
Meh.
It grew on
It
her.
grew,
That's
there we
the
go.
right
It
answer.
grew on me. I wore pink.
She wore pink.
Well done.
Purpose.
On
try.
purpose.
I try at least twice a month to wear pink on Wednesdays. That's an effort. So I don't always make it, but I
Conscious
try.
effort, yeah.
Conscious effort.
I told Kinley this story, but I used to work for this tooling company, and I had to travel to different industrial plants. And there was this one that I always went to on Wednesdays. And I don't know if it was a part of these women's uniform or what, but there was this group of women, of like 10 women, that always had pink t-shirts on every time I went in that plant. And I like to think it's because of this movie.
100%.
Definitely.
It has to be.
So, yeah.
Definitely. There's no other explanation. Most things come from Mean Girls, so there you go. So,
The origin of all fun things.
the origin of all fun things.
So Kinley, what about Mean Girls made you latch on?
So one thing, and we've talked about this. This movie, initially had a cult following, just immediately, just kind of a fan favorite kind of movie. It didn't gain immediate, like worldwide success, but kind of grew a little group that have stayed with it all these many years. But one of the big things is the quotability of this movie. Very quotable.
Yes.
But also I think that this movie can be applicable to our lives. And I like to think of it in my life, at least. So you can relate to different characters in this movie, and I think everybody kind of latches onto one character they feel like they relate with, whether it's the Katie or Caddy, as she's also known,
Caddy.
mispronounced her name, C-A-D-Y, who kind of comes to new school, not really knowing people, whether it's the Outcast, the Damien, or the Janice, whether it's the Plastics, whether it's the other like groups, because that's something they do at the beginning. They're in the cafeteria, they kind of classify all the different cliques, the different groups at the school. And that's a real thing in public high school.
Yes.
And,
It's a real thing in any school.
it's a real thing in any school. It's a real thing in any
college too.
in college and a lot of environments, just general environments with
Yes.
people. But in a public high school, when in high school, like this was a thing. This
It's
was
so
a
high
thing, and it
So
was so
public.
high school. And so I think I watched this movie and I was like, yes, this is life. Like this is it. This is the real thing, you know. And something else I appreciate about this movie, it's got a lot of diverse characters, a lot of
That's true. It really did.
even some secondary or even background characters, very diverse, and they kind of broke the mold of like the typical Hollywood actor. You've got a lot of people who wouldn't necessarily fit that mold, but are very different, and they did a good job of representing that diversity, I think. So you've got a character that's in a wheelchair. You've got a character who, fill in the blank. You've got all kinds of different characters. So it's just a neat representation, and I feel like they did a good job of also representing the real world in high school there too. So I really enjoy this movie.
Solid.
Danny DeVito, I love your work. It's one of my favorite quotes.
I literally didn't know until I was like researching this earlier that there was a Mean Girls 2. Ashley says it
remembered
sucks.
Yeah,
Never
wasn't
watched
as
it.
good. Came out 2011. This movie came out in 2004.
Did it have Lindsay Lohan in it?
No.
No. Okay.
I think she'd moved on to other things.
Yeah, it was a different cast.
Yeah, a totally different cast. So
So, and that's something, talking about the cast, that's very interesting. We do have prime Lindsay Lohan right here, as I
Yes.
like to call it.
Prime.
So she's not the baby from Parent Trap,
No.
but she hasn't kind of gone off the deep end crazy yet. And so we've got some, I think really like the best years of Lindsay Lohan's acting. Mean Girls hits that. And so she did a really good job with that character. But Rachel McAdams too, and I just want to talk about her versatility. Did I say that right?
Sure. Sounds good.
It sounded fast, so.
I mean, we'll let you go with it.
Diversibility.
Diversity? Is that what
No.
you're looking for?
Versatility. Not
Versatil-
diversity. Just versatility. There it is.
Versatility.
You didn't tell me what it was.
I'm sorry. I was like enjoying
sorry
your
I failed
diversity.
Versatility as an
I was
actress.
Well, that's the English major.
I know.
I'm sorry. I was just appreciating
speak
your
good.
words.
It's fine. Moving on.
Versatility as an actress. The same year that this came out, The Notebook came out. So you've got her as that character in The Notebook,
Yep.
and you've got her here as Regina George. And it's just like two very different characters, two very different ages, and she basically played them around the same time. That's a big deal.
Also, can we just talk about how ageless she is? Like, she still looks the same today. It's kind of impressive. I feel like she's the
That's so good.
female, oh my gosh, Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd.
Paul
Oh,
Rudd.
yeah.
She's the female
Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Rudd.
Timeless.
Timeless.
What,
Timeless.
what has she been in recently? I guess I could look. I have
Let's find out.
the
The
internet.
most
Yeah.
recent thing, and I don't know. She's been in a lot of things. The Time Traveler's Wife. What's the most recent?
Well, she's rumored to be, I don't know if you knew this, but you know the Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey jr. She's rumored to be in the third one.
Oh, they're making
They're
a
finally
third.
They're
making
making
a
a
third
third
one.
I didn't know that. I
been
thought
a
they
few
just
years
It's
stopped
in
from the last
pre-production
one.
right
a
now.
long time.
It looks like the last thing she was in was Game Night. Do you remember we saw that? in
Oh,
2018?
Game
yeah.
Night.
Yeah.
So good.
Which was,
Yeah, we have it. Yeah.
and then the next thing she's going to be in is Eurovision, which is not released yet. So
was in
she
Doctor
kind of had a
Strange.
two-year break there.
Doctor Strange.
It says she's Dr. Christine Palmer in Doctor
Oh.
Strange.
Yeah. The other doctor. That's like a minor character, but shows up often.
Is this the
She's
first
blonde.
movie that Amy Poehler and Tina Fey were in together?
Was it Baby Mama?
How do you love
Baby
Baby
Mama.
Mama?
When did that
They're
movie
in that
come
together
out?
too. I love
That's
that
what it's
movie.
called, right? Baby Mama?
Baby Mama,
Yeah, I
yeah.
watched
Yes.
that with you.
I own it.
So funny. The Tina Fey, Amy Poehler duo is one of my favorites.
Spectacular.
It's one of the best. They have
So
such a good
funny.
chemistry. And what did they host together? Was it the?
They hosted the Golden Globes.
Golden Globes.
2 years in a row
That's
together.
right. That's right. It was
That's
so
such a funny
good.
combination.
It really
Solid.
was.
That
I know
was
they were
good.
in Sisters.
Where were we going?
Yes.
They were in
Yes.
Sisters
Sisters.
together. They were in Wine Country together.
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
And then, of
That's
course,
good.
I think I
SNL.
wanted to see that one.
It's on Netflix. Check it out.
Okay.
Check it out, people.
I'm looking to see what else she was in with people. Sorry. I want to
The
see
deep
what came
dive.
first. I want to
The
see what
deep dive
came
on
first.
research.
Mean Girls was 2004. Okay. Baby Mama was 2008.
Okay.
And it looks like Tina Fey was only in 3 other things before this: a TV series, a video game, and a movie. So I don't think Amy Poehler was in those. She may have, but
So this was
is
the
one of
first one
TV
they did
Fey-
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of Tina Fey's first appearances.
Writing
and
too, right?
Yeah,
Tina
she
Fey's
wrote
right.
it.
She wrote it.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Solid.
one of Amy Poehler's first appearances in movies. So
There's a lot of movies that like I didn't know till after the fact that Tina Fey wrote. I'm like,
yeah.
holy cow, she could do it all. And I know that she wrote 30 Rock
Mm-hmm.
because she stars in it, but wrote it too. It was so good, so good.
And did you watch Great News that was out in the past couple years?
No, I wanted to.
She wrote
I
it,
didn't see
and then
that.
she had a reoccurring role in it. And
Did they bring it back
canceled
or they?
it.
Oh,
No,
say,
after
I was
2
like, I hadn't heard of
seasons.
that.
It was so good. It had the aunt from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Vula.
Oh,
You
it
know.
has her?
It's okay. I make lamb. You know that.
That's my
One of my
twin.
favorite lines.
Yes. Inside the lump was my twin.
My
Oh, mercy.
I hate that they got rid of that because I wanted to see it, but I hate that they got rid of that LA to Vegas show.
Oh, LA to
You and I
Vegas.
loved
we
that
loved
show.
that show.
It was so good.
Okay,
that
anyways,
was a good
get
one.
back.
Back to the Mean Girls.
We haven't gone off track. We're getting
That's
back.
all and speaking of like some of the different characters working together, and you'll notice this with stuff Tina Fey does, but there's a lot of SNL or SNL alums in this movie. And so Katie's mom was on SNL, the principal was on SNL, and then of course Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, and so you've got those in there. So it's interesting to see just how some of the friendships they create with people on SNL can kind of continue in the TV shows or the movies they do.
Yeah.
And we do see that a lot with Amy Poehler and Parks and Rec. You've got a lot of guest stars from SNL. Will Forte was in there, Andy Samberg, and some other ones. So there you go.
There you go. All connected.
I pulled up the list of all the cliques.
Yes, let's listen to the clicks. So in this high
And
school.
then let us know which clique you were in high school. I really want to know this,
Okay,
people.
so
That's a good
based
question,
on
yeah.
based on the clicks that John's going to read for us right now. After this, we're going to share which clique number 1 we were in, and number 2 what we would want to be in if it's different,
Oh,
Okay.
Or if we could change it.
or if you could change it.
Okay.
And you don't have to, but if you could.
Okay.
Okay, and the first one's just what grade they're in. It's your freshmen, ROTC guys, preps, JV jocks, Asian nerds, cool Asians, varsity jocks, unfriendly black hotties, girls who eat their feelings, girls who don't eat anything, desperate wannabes, burnouts, sexually active band geeks, the greatest people you will ever meet, and the worst. Beware the plastics. I was just reading the quote. So
That was the quote. And the greatest people you'd ever meet, we're referring to Damien and
Janice.
Janice.
Yeah.
And later on, they are labeled the art geeks,
Yes.
or the art freaks. That's what they're
Art
called, the art
freaks.
freaks.
I like to think I was the greatest people you'll ever meet, humbly.
I was thinking that.
I'm having like a hard time figuring out which one I would have been in because I played sports, but I also edited the yearbook. I had like a
Beth won't say this, but she was also a valedictorian, so.
I had a little thing here and there. So
she's smart. You could be
She
cool
knows
Asian.
things.
I mean, I'm not Asian, but I could take it.
Well, neither was Gretchen Wieners, and at the end, she joins the Cool Asian Club.
I mean, maybe I was a Cool Asian.
For senior year.
I'll claim it if they'll take me. Yeah, I don't know. What were you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
The greatest people you will ever
Okay,
meet.
so you're sticking with this.
Yeah.
Okay, Jennifer.
I was a band geek, but not the sexually active part. Just the band geek.
Just the band geek.
Just for clarification.
Just the back part of that. Yeah.
I was the label, the greatest people you ever know. I would like to think that, but I was an art freak, so that's pretty spot on. I was in academic team, but they didn't have any. They didn't list those.
They didn't.
They had the mathletes later on. I was not a mathlete. It was just academic team. I didn't do well with the math stuff. I did well with the random trivia.
Gotcha.
So I won upper state with who wrote Alice in Wonderland. So
Well,
there you go.
there you go.
For the team. I think that was the only question I answered that round, though, because I
Wait,
didn't know
that
anything
was
else.
like the winning question?
Yes, that was a winning question.
Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll was the
For
winning
the
question.
win. Way to go, Lewis Carroll. Not that you had anything
It
to
was
do
not
with
as
that question.
competitive as I would like to think, but it was fun.
Well, good for you.
We had shirts that
you
said
competitive now?
let them eat pie instead of cake, and we had the symbol for pie. Get it? Anyway, if you don't get it, you weren't as cool as me in high school.
Oh man.
Definitely one of the greatest people you'll ever know.
That was a lot of fun. Okay, I did drama stuff, so I would fit into that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If you could, would you change it, Jennifer?
From that list? Nah, probably not.
Would you change John?
No, I don't know. I actually don't know what I would be classified because you can't really just say the greatest people you ever meet because I did drama and I played sports and I didn't make all A's but A's and B's and I also
I was
played
always
music
a band geek and that was it.
and I tried to do it all. I was a melting pot.
You were a melting
That's
pot.
my
We were
group.
floaters.
Floaters.
I have no idea. Making this up. Float from group to group. I have no idea.
I also worked on yearbook and sang in the choir. So whatever you classify that,
Yeah.
I'm
Just a little
special.
bit in there. Yeah.
Beth?
I would just stick with whatever that melding pot was.
Yeah. None of us really fit well into those classifications.
No.
I would stay. I enjoyed where I was. I'd like to be plastic for a day. Not just with the simple, like, I would want all the rules. I think it'd be cool for a week, plastic for a week, to follow the rules. But I could have come up with those on my own, so,
No.
you know, there you
You
go.
can start your rules today.
Ashley would like me to say for her that her classification in high school was that she was a plastic. She was the product.
Oh,
okay.
Ashley with
Not
the
I will
plastic.
say there were five or eight students in your graduating class, Ashley.
Not the whole high school, it was my class.
I just said in your graduating class, 5 or 8?
5.
5.
5 in a graduating class.
So
Wow.
small school, and she
Somebody's
wouldn't
gotta
change
own
it.
it,
So
Yeah.
I like it. Way to own it. Way to own being a plastic. I'm proud
Would
of
you
you.
change it, Ashley?
Nope.
She says nope.
Love it.
that's
Right
funny.
on.
So, okay, we've talked about our groups. What is your favorite scene of this movie? I need to know.
Oh,
Pick
my
one.
favorite scene.
Or two.
I had to pick a couple.
I need to know your favorite scene and then your favorite quote.
I love. Okay, so one of my. Are you just asking me, or are we asking the whole group? Are you asking
I'm
everybody?
starting with you.
It's your favorite movie. We're
I just
starting
gotta
with
So I
you.
have to think of one. Oh,
So
man.
one that I really like is
You're
when she, right after Regina and Aaron get back together, and Katie had talked to Regina about talking to Aaron, and she sees them talking, and then they start kissing, and she gets really mad, and then that's when the plan is hatched to take him down.
Yes.
So she comes up to the plastics table for lunch, and Regina's kind of rubbing it in her face that she's got Aaron there dating. So. And Katie says, I know how this would be handled in the wild, because she's from Africa. And then it's this whole scene where they all, like, she jumps over the table like a lion and starts, like, beating up Regina, and all of the other students pretend like they're animals. I love the way that's done. That's done
Yeah.
another time in the movie. When
Yes.
she goes to the mall for the first time. It's
I
like
like-
everyone
that's what
around
I'm
the
thinking of, is in
watering
the
hole.
mall, yeah.
Those are really cool. I like the way those are done. My favorite scene of all time, and it's kind of a montage, is when they're trying to get Regina, or trying to get Aaron to find out that Regina's cheating on him in the AV room above the auditorium. And so you just have all of these scenes where they put a sign, Aaron's on the swim team, it says, swim practice has been moved to the AV room above the auditorium.
yeah.
And he's like, okay, and he just goes up there and doesn't find, he doesn't find out. They're trying to get him to catch it.
Katie's in the hall. He's probably running up to the AV room above auditorium.
Damien's wearing a ski mask and steals her purse, and I bet he looks like he's going to the AV room. It's so funny.
Aaron is so dumb. Bless him. Bless him.
Oh,
Anyway, it was good. I love that. That would be probably one of my most laughable moments in the movie. I have an issue with that scene, I will say, because Damien steals her purse. I'm sure they came with something after, but he's wearing the ski mask, and of course when they get to the AV room, like, Aaron knows who Damien is, and it's just like, no one ever explained how they had to, go about that. But Damien could probably definitely play it off as, this was an acting exercise. I was just acting, So,
I love Damien.
I love Damien.
He may be my favorite character.
It's a good character. I love when she has to wear something pink on Wednesday, so she wears his
Yeah.
polo.
And it
That is
just,
much
like,
too
drops.
large.
Massive. Yeah.
That's good.
But and that's the thing that's so funny to me is that she's hanging out with the plastics who everything has to be perfect. And she wears this shirt that's clearly a guy's shirt that doesn't fit. And they let her get away with it.
I know. I
It's
was
really
surprised.
shocking to me.
Apparently, the rule is specifically you have to wear pink. It doesn't matter what it is.
Just pink.
It just has to be pink.
I was just like, wow, I'm surprised that they're okay with being seen with her. But I guess maybe the whole she's new, she's pretty, she's from Africa, outweighed the fact that she was not wearing a typical plastics outfit.
John?
Me? My favorite scene, man, I think I'd probably say where all of the girls are in the gymnasium revealing their feelings about after the book's released, and then they say a truth or whatever, and then trusts fall into the audience.
Yes.
And then the one girl who doesn't go to school there gets up, and then Damien's like, she doesn't even go here. She doesn't even go here. So favorite quote and moment of the movie. It's so funny.
I like it.
Do you even go to this school?
No, I just have a lot of feelings. It's so funny.
So good.
There's so many quotable moments.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Favorite scene?
I was actually gonna say similar when anytime the characters are acting like the animals, and I really liked both of those. The two that stuck out were the two that y'all had talked about. I don't know why, I just thought it was funny. They just kind of all instinctively just slumped over and just went into animal mode.
It makes me
It
think
was
of
great.
some movies where you have a character who's annoying and they're talking way too much on and on and on, and then there's the person who's being annoyed that they're talking to, and then it shows a scene of them killing them. All of a sudden, it's oh, that escalated, but then it's all of a sudden it's
snaps back.
it snaps back, and it really didn't happen.
happen.
And you're like, oh, they just thought about
They
it.
just thought about it. Or punch him in the face.
Yeah, it made
Yeah.
me think of that. How it's wait, what does everybody do? Oh, okay, it was just in her mind. Okay.
Yeah. It was a good little parallel, though, to animals
Yeah,
versus
it
humans.
really was.
As crazy as this movie is, it's so well written, and it really has it's deep. Anyway, whatever. I'll get off that bandwagon. So, Ashley says her favorite scene, tie between when they see Miss Norbury at the mall in that terrible outfit, which still they said we have no idea why she was wearing that vest with all the buttons on it.
Never explains it.
It never explains it.
And she's just
Anyway.
now that we've had this awkward moment, I'm gonna peace out.
Or
But
when
she was going through a divorce, and
She
so she
But
probably
who owns a vest like that?
I don't know. And what were those buttons all for? We need
Are
to
they buttons or patches?
I
think
thought
it was
were
a-
buttons.
I thought it was both. I
Maybe
don't
it
know.
was a mixture.
Maybe she's
Because I kind of, when I first saw it, I was like, is that supposed to be an adult version of what a Girl Scout vest would look like?
Who knows?
Look at all
she
that
never
patches.
graduated. She just got every patch there was.
That's funny. And Ashley said, or when Karen's telling the forecast at the end, which is a good moment as well. So
Yes,
30%
yeah.
chance that it's probably already raining.
So great.
That was good.
Yeah.
So quotes.
I love You Go Glen Coco.
You go, Glen Coco.
I say that all the time. I really do like that one. And her hair is full of secrets.
Her hair is full of secrets. That's why your hair's so big. It's full of secrets. That's also the delivery of a lot of these lines are really
Oh yeah,
good.
Really
So,
good.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. like I said before, the where Damien says she doesn't even go here. If I had to pick a second one, I just blanked on it. What was it? Danny DeVito, I love your work.
Yes,
That one.
Danny DeVito,
Yeah.
I love your work.
So
I really don't remember what my favorite quote is, but I blame that on the pregnancy than anything else. So
there you go.
There
I
you
get
go.
baby brain.
We'll give you a pass this time.
Pregnant brain.
Yeah.
What is your favorite quote? I mean, there's a million quotes. So you, as our listeners, definitely send us in your favorite quote and why you love it.
Ashley said she can't pick one. There's so many good ones. And I can't pick one
I
either. I've
mean-
shared them all with you. I'm like, they're all my favorites.
You
I
can
wondered if
literally-
you were going to
there's-
pick just one.
Yeah. If you could only say one for the rest of your life.
The limit does not exist. I say that all the time. And you could use that in real world in the quote.
Yeah.
Or you can't sit with us. If I can only say one for forever, I don't know. One of those two.
This is like painful for you.
I know.
I'm highly entertained.
You hear how many times I say those things. Danny
I know.
DeVito, I love. Every time Danny DeVito comes up, Danny DeVito, I love your work. That one always comes up. Anyway, yes. She doesn't even go here. Also comes up a lot. So never mind. This is torture. I'm in pain.
What was?
Quit hurting
So
yourself.
here's a question. What is like? If you could recall back to the very first time you watched it, what was the most like shocking moment, like plot wise? Like whoa.
When Regina got hit by the bus.
That too.
Literally, that's the first thing I was
And actually, not her. It's at the very end when all three of those
Right.
girls
Those
get.
three.
That was probably the more
junior
shocking
plastics
to
when they're
me.
seniors. Yeah.
I will say with the bus, I didn't think it was real because we've had multiple moments of like her lunging across the table,
Right.
kids being animal, and it's not real. And I was thinking like this is in her head, and then
Yeah.
when it's real, I was like, way
I
to go,
know.
Tina Fey, way
And
to write that.
I think that's one of the reasons they had those scenes is to like
To
throw
throw
you
you
off a
off.
little
Yeah.
bit. And there's definitely that foreshadowing at the beginning. On her first day of school, she's walking. Katie's walking across the street to go, and she almost steps out in front of the bus, you know, and it almost hits her. But with that, like when I saw that at the beginning, I never thought like, oh, that's probably going to happen later, you know, because it worked out well.
Yeah.
She's in America for as a new student. She doesn't know how everything works. So, but that would probably be the most like, what the heck? and then the line after that's how Regina George died, and I went, you gotta be kidding me. And she said, no, I'm just kidding. She was just, and I was with Beth. I was like, this isn't real though. This isn't real. And even when she said she died, I'm like, this isn't real. And she said, she just got hurt really bad. I'm like, oh, this is real. She did get hit by a bus. Okay, there you go.
No.
Anyway,
Okay, you are a student of the school. You're voting for prom queen. Do you vote for Regina George because she got hit by a bus, or Katie because you think she pushed her?
There were two other people you could vote for, though. I don't think I would have voted for either of them.
you would have voted for Gretchen Wieners, whose
Yes.
father invented toaster strudel. I might vote for her so I could get in with the guy who invented toaster strudel and get some free
I
strudels.
could get behind that.
Yeah. What would you call 'em?
I love decorating them as a kid, and then when I ate them, I was like, they don't taste as fun as they look.
That is so true. Like, the part that didn't have icing on it, like if you ran out of icing, it was not good.
Toaster strudels were the things that helped me realize the marketing pictures are not the same as the product. Because I always wanted my toaster strudel to look just like the
it.
picture, and I would try and decorate it. I was like, I can't get this to work. How do they do that?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous, and I got really mad at toaster strudels. So I
Yeah.
kind of hate Gretchen Wiener's dad. So
Similar to that, you know the Pop-Tarts that are like purple with the blue swirls?
Yes.
Same thing, like they're never printed like the box.
true.
They're purple. They're basically purple
Yeah.
because they blend in. They don't swirl as
Right,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Pet peeve of
We
my
digress.
childhood.
It's like, for me, as a little girl, I always wanted the Ariel bang, not realizing that wasn't real. Like, that you can't have that. It was a crushing
you
moment.
especially cannot have that underwater.
It was a crushing moment. And it's like you get to toaster strudels and you're trying to decorate it like the picture and it's not happening and that icing is coming out way too fast or way too big.
and you don't have aerial bangs, and
And everything
it's just
hurts.
the worst. That's funny. That's
So
very
great.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you vote for?
Who I would have voted for?
Yeah.
Probably Katie for pushing her.
Same. I
yeah,
like
I
the little
probably-
bit of edge.
I don't know. Janice, I wouldn't have voted for Janice at all for anything. I would have written myself in. That's probably true. I love Janice, but she's not the prom queen type. And it was Damien stuffed the box with her name, so
No.
I probably wouldn't have voted for Gretchen. So I probably Katie, pushing her in front of that bus. Proud of her.
Yeah, here you go, Katie. Here you go, Glen Coco.
When they did the scene with the talent show, that's what I was trying to think of. It made me think of another question of, did you perform in a talent show in high school?
Not in high school. I did in middle school, but I didn't in high school.
My brain went the other way. I was like, there was talent shows in college?
That
There
was
were, actually.
freshman orientation.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have freshman talent.
That's right. I did forget about
I
that.
did not do that.
I did not. I remember watching.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that stand out in my mind. Some things
A
we saw.
really good way to get to know your new peers for 4 years.
Yeah.
Sit on the back row
Don't
and
think
talk
my
about
college
it.
did a
Did you
talent
do a
show.
talent show
That's way too
in
many
high
kids.
school?
No, I never
Both
did a
kids
talent
did.
show.
I did after you graduated, so you probably didn't see it, but it was a bunch of the senior guys, and we just got up and just sang, what's it called? The In the Jungle song. We just had like
The lion
we
sings
were all
tonight.
doing the Oingo Whoop, Oingo Whoop, and just one of them sang, and,
Just like something you would do.
and that was literally just because we're like, let's do something. I think we decided it the day before. And we didn't win. It was just to do it. Did you do a talent show at all?
No.
Ever?
You were in marching band,
I
right?
was in band, yeah.
So you-
That's enough talent that you're
I
showing.
blend
so.
in with 100 other people. It's fine.
Perfect.
Pretty
What
much
did you do for
perform
your talent
for
show?
Millions
I sang.
through the television.
You sang? What did you sing?
I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't very good.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I
You
sang
sang
for
for
my
a
talent
talent
show.
show.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
don't remember. I think it was.
Is there a video?
No.
There's
It
gotta be a
wasn't.
video.
It wasn't like an after school.
Your parents don't have a video?
It wasn't an after school talent show. None of my family were there. It
Oh,
was one of the
during school.
yeah.
Kids
I don't
only.
remember.
Unfortunate. Man, if there's ever evidence, we need to see this.
I gotta remember. Anyway,
Yeah.
it wasn't very good. The whole
Talent
talent show wasn't
shows.
very good.
Talent shows.
We had for my work through middle school and high school at our training camp, we would do, or high school and college, sorry, we would have a talent show for our week of training. And we began to call it the Untalent Show because of how
Untalent show.
not good it
That's
was.
funny.
And we abolished it a couple years ago, and we're really happy for that. So anyway, there you go.
The Untalent Show.
It's more fun to watch the talent show.
It is.
It's more fun to watch karaoke,
Karaoke.
on a cruise ship.
Agreed. I
We
love watching
love
some karaoke.
to watch the karaoke on the cruise ship. So
I love giving commentary. If you ever need somebody to be your hype woman, I got you.
that's a good hype girl.
Oh man.
I don't think I've ever done that, but you know,
There you go.
we'll work it in.
How about favorite characters? Who's your favorite character?
I really do love Damien. He's my favorite.
What's the dumb girl?
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah, I like Karen. So dumb.
I love seeing her in this role and then seeing her in Les Mis.
Or Mamma Mia.
Or Mamma
Talk
Mia.
about
Mamma
again,
Mia.
like
Or Red Riding
versatility.
Hood.
Oh yeah, Red
Yeah.
Riding Hood. She's got a good variety going.
A lot of, and I don't know if you know, Gretchen Wieners is in a lot of Hallmark movies. so-
She is a Hallmark queen.
And Christian Mingle, that Christian Mingle movie, she's in that one.
Did you ever watch that? Mm-mm. I didn't either.
I have. Don't.
It's scary.
Ashley says it's scary.
I feel like it would
It's
be like
scary.
a -5. So
Oh.
Interesting.
What is Tina Fey's character?
Miss
Miss Norberry.
I probably have to say her. Just because I can relate to her so much right now. Teacher life, though.
She
life
is
is
like
such a
such an
struggle.
interesting teacher. Like she comes in on the first day and is like, Katie spills coffee on her, and then she's like pulling her shirt off, and it's like both shirts, and then it's a white see-through shirt.
She's just like, junior girls can't do it. She resonates so well with me. I don't
That's
know.
so funny.
I love that she's always eating. Like she's always got donuts.
I'm doing that all the time too. So
you
she
go.
does always have donuts. in
Relatable.
that with me.
Relatable.
Yeah.
I like it. What about you? Favorite character?
My favorite character is probably Regina.
Regina is a classic.
She is. Well, and I think
She's an icon.
the whole thing about Regina being the most popular in the school, people are scared of her though, and I think the reason she's popular because of fear. She has fear with everybody else, you know, and so I think she recognizes that her popularity is on like a pretty unstable ground, if you will. So it's kind of fragile, but she kind of doesn't let. I don't know. I don't think she lets people get too close because of that, but Katie's able to infiltrate it and take it down in a different way. So, but she kind of just owns when people attack her. Like when Katie tries to sabotage, you know, her in a number of different ways and like mess up her shirt, everybody else just starts doing it that way.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she just owns it though. So I like Regina.
She's super smart. I mean, because she knows how to read people. She knows how to sniff out their weaknesses and use it against them. I mean, she does not get enough credit for being super smart, but I like her.
I love when she tells that girl, she's like, "Oh, I like your skirt. Where'd you get it?" It's like, "My mom." "Vintage. That's awesome." That was the ugliest skirt I've ever seen. And I appreciate that.
And then I love, like, she's realized their plot of, like, they take Aaron Samuels from her, they mess up her hot bod, they take away the army of skanks. So the plot is, like, coming to the end. And she realizes, like, Katie has been messing with her. And she just is like, fine, I'll own it. I will be the victim. And writes her own entry into the burn book.
And you think it's going to be her, you know, as she's writing, they set it up, you think it's going to be her writing about Katie.
Yeah.
And that's what's so smart about her. She doesn't. She realizes, like, I'm going to write about myself and then publish
Yeah,
the
that
burn
threw me
book.
off. That caught me off guard when I saw it the first time. I was like, wait, why did she write? Oh.
It's really smart.
Yeah.
Really
Blackmail.
And then,
on
like, she's
yourself.
just, like, making it rain through the high school of all the dirty secrets that they've gathered.
So
I love
funny.
it. It's so great.
Good times.
Yeah.
I will be the pageant dad, though. Amy
Yes,
Poehler and Jingle
that
Bell
is
Rock
gonna be you.
with the camera.
And she's not even using it. She's just dancing while she's holding it.
Oh, that's so good.
That will
That's so
100%
good.
be you. Yes.
And of course, the best day of the year for Mean Girls is October 3rd because on October 3rd, he asked me what day it is.
It's
What
October
day is it?
3rd.
It's October 3rd. That's the best. So that's Mean Girls Day.
Solid.
I love it. I feel like that's a classic high school girl moment too. Like, just having those things like, he asked me what day it was.
You bookmark that random question. Has
Yeah.
nothing to do with anything, but she bookmarked
He
it.
asked me for a pencil. Whatever it was, we've all, like, I feel like high school girls just relate to that. Like, you've had that moment where you're like, oh my gosh. And it meant absolutely nothing, but it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah.
You have any more questions?
I mean, I don't. Like, any other things you want to talk about? I mean, this is your favorite.
I know, this is my favorite one, guys. This is
You can
just
talk
such
about
a
this
good.
forever.
I could, so I'm not going to. You're welcome. But this movie, y'all, so good. And when the whole fight scene of all the girls in the hallway is hilarious. You know, they keep
That's a pretty
finding
epic
out
scene.
this person said. You know,
Yeah.
and but I love with the principal coming out, and he's like, I did not leave the West Side for this, and like
Yeah.
he has a bat, and like, you know, hits the fire alarm.
Like, what are you
I was
gonna do with that bat?
I'm like, come on. So, did you notice his arms in a brace the entire time?
Yes.
And this takes place during one school year, so I'm pretty sure he was injured in real life, and they just wrote it in and just kept him in it the whole time as a joke. I could see Tina
I could
Fey
look it
doing
up.
that.
I mean, yeah, because they literally do go through an entire school year, and he's always in a cast. And I
Yeah.
was just very curious as to what happened to the principal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It says Tim Meadows, who played the principal, broke his wrist right before filming Mean Girls. It wears a cast throughout the whole thing, which he blames on carpal tunnel injury.
Oh, carpal tunnel.
So he has carpal tunnel the whole time. So
Well,
So
that's
there you
unfortunate.
there you go.
go. Yeah, never mind. I was going to go on something else. But it was
I
a
meant to
long
say Ashley's
rabbit trail.
favorite character,
Oh.
which would be Miss Norberry or Karen, which are both good characters. So
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
Solid.
I do love Karen. I
Karen
love
is
Karen.
great. Oh, so good things. So many good things. I'll get it out.
All the good.
I was like
All the
rearranging
good.
it in my head and it wasn't coming. Ah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Classic moment.
Alrighty. Well, shall we give our ratings?
I think we shall give our ratings.
Okay,
Ashley, do you want to pop in since you're right there and give your rating?
My rating's a 6.5.
What?
Do you want to get on the camera?
No, she does not want to get on the camera.
I tried, guys.
Ashley
I tried.
says a 6.5.
Which is a bunch of crap. Mine, this is my 10. This is my 10. And I joke
Solid.
with Ashley, I don't expect everybody to have a 10 with it, but this is like what my 10 is.
Yeah.
This movie speaks to me on an emotional level, so there you go. Beth?
I'm going to give it a 6.
Wow.
Wow. Nice.
5, guys.
It's a good day.
That's pretty big for Beth. Without having seen this with Kinley, I would have said a 7. Like if I went in without Kinley, Kinley bumped it to a 7.5.
Wow.
Wow,
So,
look at
big
you.
deal for
Like
me.
it's a whole different experience watching this movie with Kinley,
Kinley.
and I
That's
hope
true.
all of you get to experience this one
Watching
day.
it with Kinley takes it up to a 9 experience for me. Like, it's just so funny. I love it.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I enjoy watching it.
I want to say 7,
7.
7.
even.
7
So-
flat.
Well, yeah.
What we got?
We got a 7.4 for this movie.
There we go.
so,
Nice.
yeah. I'm proud. I'm proud. My favorite movie made it in the 70s.
Good job. Good job.
Good
Very
job,
nice.
Mean Girls. So if you haven't seen this movie, definitely watch it. It's like I said, not necessarily the best movie in the world, but for me, it's my favorite movie, and I enjoy just the way it was written. Tina Fey does a good job, and the characters are really cool. So a lot of good
They are.
characters. It's one of the best part of this movie. Quotability, characters, writing. There you go.
I like your.
In that order.
I like your 3 points.
My 3 points.
Right on.
Awesome. So which one's next?
Do you have a favorite yet, or do you still need
I
time?
don't have
You
a
still need
favorite yet.
time?
I need to go to the end. Like,
Okay. Do we want to do yours
I do mine or
Yeah.
Ashley's. No matter.
or Ashley's? Ashley, are you going to be on it if we do it?
We can do mine later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll give her prep time. You may be Mrs. Prince at that point. All right. Well, we will do Jennifer's,
We
which.
can do mine.
Huh?
So we can do mine?
Yeah, we'll do yours.
It's The Princess Bride.
Yay!
yes, Princess Bride,
love
another true classic.
Inconceivable.
That one is also a very quotable movie.
It is. It is.
Yes.
Great. It's going to be
Would
great.
that fall into cult classic as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Princess Bride is definitely a cult classic. Which really, okay, so we're on a streak of cult classics right now.
Which makes sense
Yeah.
because a lot of the mainstream movies, like a lot of people like, and we all tend to not necessarily, or most of us, Beth and I at least, don't tend to love things that everybody else loves. Not love, but we want to be a more original with that one, right? Wouldn't you say? That's true.
I mean, I do like Sweet and Cherry.
She does. So that's,
like a serious
yeah,
thing.
Princess Bride's
Yes.
pretty, it's got
Let
its
me,
cult
and let me
classic.
clarify, because if my mother watches this, she will have a conniption. I love the Jurassic Park series, but we're talking about isolated movies, so The Princess Bride is my favorite isolated movie.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I just wanted to clear that.
We did
It's a
series.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry
For
Potter.
all of us, except Jennifer.
Except Jennifer.
I will watch it, but I just will pick dinosaurs over wizards. It's just
But since we can't like pick one out of Harry Potter because it's not complete without all of the rest of them, that's why we're doing other movies.
We may do an HP watch through
Yeah.
in the future.
that
Do
would
you
be
have
actually
a favorite
fun.
of the movies? Not books aside, movies.
Oh no.
Because
Not
I
yet.
love, my favorite one is Prisoner of Azkaban. Both book and movie.
I really.
It's my favorite movie. It's not my favorite book.
Oh, no, I said book too. No. The last one's definitely my favorite book. I take that back. It's
The
second, though.
The sixth book is my favorite, and the six movies is probably one of my least favorites because of how much they left out.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that.
Well,
too
we
much.
will save that for a
now.
Harry
That's
Potter
a whole
review.
20
We'll get into it
shows.
later.
That's right.
We can
That's right.
dissect this for a very long time, but yeah. So next time, Princess Bride. This is a great opportunity if you've never seen this classic to see it, or just an excuse to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I never need an excuse to rewatch it. I just rewatch it.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right, well, is that everything?
Yeah.
Shall we end this? It's
Those are
the
It's
end.
hard to end the Mean Girls episode.
hard to
but
end the Mean Girls.
Any
but
last words,
thanks-
Kinley?
Thanks for tuning in.
Don't get hit by a bus.
You go, Glen Coco. You go. You go.
A special shout out to listeners Piper and Gabe Gilliam. Thank you for watching.
Some of our
listening.
favorites.
Some of our favorite
people.
Y'all are
Yes.
awesome.
You
Just
are.
wanted to say that.
We appreciate
Until
your
next-
support.
Until next time, we go big tonight.